Okay, we are live and good morning. Today is the fifth match of the ongoing Women's Tri Nation ODI series where India will take on South Africa in Colombo. And it's a very important match for India, I will say, because they're coming after a defeat against Sri Lanka. So I think they will need to, come back stronger and will need to look what were the areas that they didn't do well against Sri Lanka. But for South Africa, I have to say all three finals they have to play if they want to play that ultimate final because they have to win two remaining games to get that place and then they can play that final. So I think must win game for South Africa. For India at least based on the net run rate they are still at the top of the points table. South Sri Lanka same with 4 points, but based on the net run rate they are in the second spot. But for South Africa, as I mentioned, that these are all must win games. So Trishadi, a top game, India and South Africa. But in the first game itself, we saw that South Africa were in a position that they could have won that game against India. But somehow we all know the reasons and all. India made a comeback. It has been breached, the heat and all, the cramp and all. India made a comeback and ultimately India eventually won that game. So expecting a better performance, and do you expect South Africa can really spoil this party this time around?
I would want to see South Africa do
Mhm.
that, and for no other reason but the simple fact that it makes the series more interesting. Now, if South Africa goes on to win the next two matches, against
Mhm.
India and Sri Lanka, then what that eventually does is all three teams will be in 4 points,
4 points.
and it will be an interesting series for South Africa. I think Snehashish, it's a very very significant match if you ask me, because South Africa generally chokes in important matches, and we know that.
Mhm.
And the next two matches are actually knockout matches. So how does South Africa approach that? Because if South Africa loses today, they're anyway out, right? But
Yes.
if South Africa wins today, then their match against Sri Lanka becomes significant as well. Currently, standing right now, both the matches are like, say, a World Cup final or something of that sort. Yes, the occasion is not as big, it's just a tri series. You might say that. But then the situation is such
Yes.
that is where I think the South Africans will be tested. Even against India, if you see it they choked. Otherwise, they would have
Mhm.
definitely
Obviously.
won.
Mhm.
So that is something that South Africa needs to address now, and it will be interesting to see if they are able to do that in this match.
Absolutely. And in the last game for South Africa, there were some injury concerns also. Karabo Meso and obviously Sunelu. So it will be interesting how they will come up. Will they be part of the playing 11 or not? So that will be interesting to see. But overall, I think when it comes to Team India, Trishadi, last day Sri Lanka batters batted brilliantly in that chase. That there is no doubt about that. I think they batted brilliantly, but again the same question that when you have those kind of a bowler in your side, those quality spinners experience and all, you expect at any condition, especially in this type of condition, you expect 275 runs to be defended. So how do you see, you were not there in that post match live show, so what was the portions that went wrong, and what improvements do you want to see in this game?
Yeah, I was not there because I
Yes.
felt
Mm.
unwell after watching India's bowling. No, that's not serious. I was just unwell. That's why, guys, I was not there.
Yes.
But yeah, what I felt was India was looking to defend the
Mm.
runs. India was not looking to take
Taking
wickets.
with us. Yes.
When Nilakshi was batting, I thought India could have done so much better with the field, with the bowling, the approach. Somehow, India were not looking the side that was prepared enough, if you understand what I mean.
Mm.
India looked like a side which was almost. Somebody had written this in Twitter that in both against Sri Lanka, no, sorry, South Africa in the first game and
Mm.
this game, India looked like a side which was complacent. I won't really use the word complacent because I don't think any team gets
Mm.
complacent as such.
Taking
But what I
easy, not taking seriously.
no, I don't was the problem. I just think India's plans weren't in place. They had a
mm,
plan A. So this is the thing. They had a plan A.
mm, mm,
The
mm,
problem
mm.
is when the plan A was failing, there was no plan B.
Yes,
And or C or D. Like they did not expect. Nobody expected probably Nilakshi to come out and attack. That counter attacking
yes.
innings. But that's done. The unexpectation part has been done. Now how do you deal with it? I don't think India got that response. India was not reactive enough. Forget about proactive. We were not proactive, that's fine. We were not reactive enough as well. So that is where I thought, because there were a lot of shots which were hit behind the wicket, and India did not really have
Mm,
the feel for that. So all, small things and small moments in the match which India I felt kind of missed out. Of course, Kashmir's injury was a big factor. Otherwise, you would have seen Kashmir come back and pull the Yorkers. So yeah, overall, I do think that India needs to start having a plan B, C, D as well. It's not that just because it's Sri Lanka, it is going to be a routine stuff. You know.
absolutely. And as you mentioned, Kashbi Gautam, obviously Kashbi Gautam has suffered a calf injury, and there's a high chance that she will be not part of this series no more. Kranti Gaur has earned a maiden call up to the senior team India. So congratulations to Kranti, and she has already joined the team. So it will be
Yeah.
interesting to see whether she will get a debut cap or not in the remaining games. But a huge call up for Kranti. I think deserving Tushadi the way she played in a domestic tournament, especially the WPL was also superb. That ball against Meg Lanning, we all remember that 4 wicket spell. And overall, the domestic, I think the domestic performance managed to bound the selectors to look at Kranti, what she has been doing so far.
See, with right persons, the problem is you do well one season and you have the debut cap.
Mm.
So that part is there. Having said that, I think Kranti, of course, has done well, and Kranti, I think, bowled in parts. Of course, there's a lot of
Mm.
exposure, experience to be left, and that is where this the thing that I just said, or the sarcastic line that I just said. One good performance or one good season, bringing the players, and this is something I had said, I think, in the first match as well. That the problem is now when Kashvi comes back or Renuka comes back for that matter,
Yes,
Kranti is out of the team,
yes,
and then what happens? Then is Kranti going to ever make it to the team with the same kind of performance that she has made
absolutely.
this time round? Because you can't expect Kranti overnight to suddenly become someone who takes 5 wickets, 10 wickets. Just 2 matches is not going to give her enough exposure that way. Having said that, I don't mind if India tries out Amanjot now,
Yes, absolutely.
because look, to be honest, South Africa is in a very dicey position. It's South
Mm.
Africa who has to go and win this match. I'm not saying India doesn't need to, but India can still try out someone like Amanjot. Had Kashvi not been injured, I wouldn't have just said this. But since Kashvi is injured, then why not go ahead, try Amanjot, because Amanjot also, what Amanjot does is gives you that batting, that hitting. She can hit the ball.
Mm.
And your next series is in England, where I think Amanjot will be handy in the England conditions, where
England.
until and unless Renuka is not playing, I don't see Renuka not playing, Kashmir injured. Only then do I see Kranti play. I would rather
Yes,
say do not give Kranti the debut cap and then make her hassle for the comeback. You know, rather you already have Amanjot, give her a chance and see what happens, because I think Amanjot is slow medium. So is Arundhati. Shouldn't be a
yes,
problem.
absolutely. And for Kashmir, I think the injury happened at a very wrong time. The
It is so
England tour is
sad.
coming. Yes,
Every time you feel that Kashvi will now settle in the team, she's getting injured. She's almost like the T Natarajan of the Indian women's team.
yes, and especially as you mentioned, the England tour is coming, and in England there is a
She
high
would have
chance.
loved the conditions.
Yes, there is a high chance that India might play both Amanjot and Kashbi in that team. So, so maybe. So that's a very heartbreaking news that we got yesterday, that Kashbi got injured, and hopefully she will make a strong comeback as quickly as possible, because that is that is needed for her and obviously for
Hmm.
Team India. But moving on, Trishadi, as you mentioned, there is a high chance that maybe India will look to Amanjot this time around. But do you think, Trishadi, that loss against Sri Lanka took away the chance for India to uh, use new faces in the remaining matches? Because in the context of this series, now you have to win this game to make
Absolutely.
sure that you are playing that final.
Absolutely. I think, I mean, it's so weird, no? After the end of two matches, we were in a
Mm.
situation where we were almost discussing that we need to, we need to try out our bench strength
Bench
and all
strength.
that. And then suddenly now we are like, you can't try out your bench strength in this match. And definitely you can't try out your bench strength in the final,
Final.
because that would be madness. So I think but to be honest, if you think of the South Africa match also, the signs were there that
Mm.
India made a good comeback and we were happy with it. But somewhere, I don't think our batting has clicked that well, and I don't think our bowlers, apart from a Snehi Rana, has shown that ability to pick up wickets at regular intervals. And when you don't pick up wickets, at least you defend, or be economical. That part
Mm.
has
Mm.
also been lacking. So I think uh, right now I don't see Shuchi playing in place of
Mm.
Charani. If that happens, I would be very, very surprised. But then again, India does like to surprise their fans.
Yes, the right man is there, so anything can happen at any
The
time.
right man and woman, don't forget that.
Oh yeah, sorry. Omen, it can be an omen also. Yeah, the right person. The best phrase is right person. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. But I think, yeah, the bowling has been a constant, especially taking wickets at a regular interval that you mentioned. Obviously, in these conditions, you expect your spinners to be most effectful. Snehana has shown that she has been fabulous throughout the series so far, taking wickets at her will. But again, we have to come to discuss about Dipti Sharma. Another game, she looked very, very flat. With the bat, she had a chance yesterday in the last game. I am saying against Sri Lanka, but she failed to score big. But again, with the ball, at least with the ball, you expect Dipti Sharma to take at least 2, 3 wickets in this condition. But again and again, she is not looking at it at her best. What is the issue, Trishadi?
I'm just feeling that she's going and bowling without putting in much thought. She's running through the motions, and she could bowl a tad bit slower. I feel
Hmm.
in these conditions, especially because if you see Sneh Rana is actually looping the ball and bowling much slower. So is Charani. Both loop the ball, and it is extremely important. I think Deepti's bowling, even in ODI, somehow is almost like T20I bowling,
Hmm.
and that is what is not working, because in ODIs people actually will rock back in the back foot, wait for the ball, and then hit you. And if you
Point.
give a little bit of a pace where Snehrana and Charani are not giving pace, then it's actually easier to play you than to play them. And that is
Point.
where I think Deepti has to learn quickly. I thought after the first game, I was telling you that after the first game,
Hmm.
I'm expecting Deepti to make a comeback, but just somehow not happening for her. In fact, she is at the brink of making herself replaceable, something that she had not done in like many, many years now. uh, you never know, in England you can't take so many spinners, so you will have to choose between your spinners, and there, with the kind of batting, the kind of bowling that Rana is going to bring in, because Deepthi is anyway not giving you a 50 run with the bat or something of that sort. Last game
Yes.
she had a chance, it's not like she did not. So if she's not giving you anything with the bat, she's not giving you anything with the ball, then you go with Rana, who has picked up tons of wickets.
Yes, absolutely. And proper like and like replacement if you want to replace someone like Dipti Sharma. And the way
Absolutely.
Snehana, and as Trishati mentioned several times already in previous lives, and I also think the same, that at this moment Snehana is a much superior batter than Dipti Sharma is.
Any
So
day.
there is any day. So there is no doubt that India, if
Mentally,
India,
see, and
yes,
mentally, Snehrana is in a better place than Deepthi.
yes,
The way she has made a
yes,
comeback, she has got 10 wickets in the series. I think nobody else has got even
yes,
4, 5,
three, four,
if I'm not wrong.
yes. Maybe
Correct.
9, 10, maybe yes. Because in every matches she is taking like 3 or 4 wickets. I think we have to see the total numbers. It
I'll tell
might be
you. Just
10.
give me
Mm,
1 second.
mm.
Yeah, she has got 11 wickets, and the next player
11
is
wickets.
Sugandhika Kumari with 4 wickets.
Yes.
So see the
But
amount, like, when others have got four, three, two, one, these are the wickets there. There
mm,
is one person who has got 11 wickets. How will you ignore her?
exactly. And even if you still ignore her, we should
Then
not
you are
talk
not the
about that
right
thing.
person.
We and we should not raise any question. We should stop talking about it because you cannot talk about it if she still gets ignored for the upcoming series after this kind of performances. But before coming to the comments, Tushari, obviously spinners are expected to do well, especially Deepti Sharma and all with all experience. But what about the pacers? I know that in these conditions, you know that your pacers might not be able to take wickets, but still you expect some kind of at least 1 or 2 wickets here and there from your pacers. Sri Lanka, Malki Matara and all, they are also taking wickets. Okay, Tushari has some call. We'll continue before I'll take some comment. Pavan Suresh saying hi. Pavan Suresh saying hi. Okay, Pavan, hi. Uh, okay. Asim Hans, from potentially resting players to the brink of elimination, how did we get here? Where the signs already there, lucky escape South Africa in the earlier contest. Yes, Tushadi. Okay, Tushadi, already Pavan Shudes has already said hi. So, hi, Pavan. And Asim Hans, this question, I think we already discussed still, Tushadi, if you want to take it.
Yeah, I think this is the sign was already there against South Africa. I thought we were
Hmm.
rusty, and we continued that against
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka. But also we have to give Sri Lanka that kind of, what do you call that, that credit. We can't take that away
Hmm.
from Sri Lanka either.
Absolutely. Okay,
Sneha, just give me one
huh,
minute. I'll just come back. Huh? One
okay,
minute.
done, done. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, we'll take the other comments till then. Okay, Remo saying really disappointed with the timid and defensive approach from our leadership and management. The signs have been there from South Africa to India itself. Not much hope with this management around. See, regarding this approach, I think we have been discussing it since that 2024 T20 World Cup. And when you
Really
do well,
disappointed with you too much.
yeah, regarding that approach, I think we have been discussing this since the T20 World Cup, Tushadi, 2024 T20 World Cup, that there is some issue with the approach or something when you approach a in important match in a tournament or maybe in a bilateral series. In your home, you are good, especially in ODI format, you can win games, that is fine. But in away conditions, when you need to face top teams, I think you have to be a little bit bold and bold calls to be taken. As Tushadi mentioned, that not only plan A, there should be plan B, C, or D, because on many occasions there will be days where your plan A will not work. So what then? Then your captain needs to be proactive, then your field placement have to be different, and bowling changes have to be different. And then I think at the main thing is there that you have to try different things. And
Absolutely.
trying different things will bring different results for you. And then you can understand that okay, if this is not working, this is the way that we should proceed, but that trying is not there. The team is not
That's the
looking.
problem, Snehashish.
Yes,
I would not have the defeat is not my problem. The effort
yes,
is my problem, because
exactly,
there will be matches that you have played superbly and you have lost, and it's fine. But if you're not putting in 100%, I mean, I'm not saying effort wise 100%. I'm talking about thought process wise 100%. I don't think um, Amol Mazumdar, Harmanpreet Kaur, Smriti Mandana, they need to get together and say, look, our plan A is fantastic. If it's working, we are winning. What about BCD? There have to be plans BCD. You cannot look that clueless, for God's sake. And this is happening
exactly,
from T20 World Cup. The moment your first plan fails, it almost looks like you don't know what to do. And that cannot happen. For years now, Harman has been the captain. Smriti has been the vice captain. It's not nothing new for them. Amol Mazumdar has been there with the team long enough now. Whether it's a problem between the captain and the coach getting in together and getting ideas together or not, the captain, vice captain, the senior members, the coach, probably they are not getting in ideas together or not, that's something that's beyond me. I wouldn't know.
Hmm.
But somewhere that's not clicking, because on field proactiveness is not there is one thing, but when there is somebody coming for drinks, why isn't Amal Mazumdar also sending some message? You always can.
Absolutely.
Why does
Yes,
somebody need
absolutely.
to run in with drinks also? In the boundary line, somebody is standing, Amol Mazumdar comes and says, Ashish Nehra speaks all the time. Nobody wants, yeah, nobody wants a Ashish Nehra. That's fair enough. But at least, and when I say nobody wants an Ashish Nehra, I'm not saying that I have a problem with Ashish Nehra. What I'm trying to say is, it's fine if you're not a chatterbox coach. There are a lot of coaching styles, right? So, and that's perfectly fine. But there has to be an interchange of ideas, or be it Amal Mazumdar coming up, be it Harmanpreet coming up with it, be it Smriti, or be it one of the seniors in the side, Deepthi Sharma, coming up and saying, "Look, we can do this. We don't need to do that." So that is not happening, and that is where I think we are lacking more than the complacency that people are talking about, overconfidence. I don't see the overconfidence or the complacency. I see a lack of uh, enough good planning.
Hmm. Absolutely. And you are also thinking that maybe there is a lack of communication between the team management and
Absolutely, it has
senior
to be.
members. Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Before moving on to the other comments, last two questions, Trishadi, regarding the pacers. Obviously, in this conditions, you expect your spinners to be effective, but in your pacers, I know that in these conditions they will be, the main aim will be not to concede many runs, but at least take some wickets, one or two wickets here and there. Because if you see the Sri Lankan side, Malki Madara, prime example, she ended up taking 4 wickets. So obviously their spinners also performed well. They kept the pressure, and utilizing that, Malki Madara managed to take those wickets. So why not our pacers? What is the thing that is missing in our pacers?
I think Arundhati is bowling well in patches, but our pacers need to attack the stumps more. You know what?
Mm.
Madara got the wickets. If you see, she was continuously attacking the stumps. The next
Yes.
day against India, she wasn't that successful because she was just trying to bowl just outside of the fourth, fifth stump line. When you are not a very, not someone, when the conditions are not with you, there's swing or something of that sort. The best way to get wickets, the best way to be economical is to bowl stump to stump. And that is
Yes.
where I think our pacers have not been consistent enough. With
Yes.
Kashwi, I was expecting a lot more, to see a lot more variation, which did
Mm.
not happen. But then again, she just played 2 matches and 15 overs. You cannot really say much about, not even 15 overs. The first game wasn't full.
Yes,
It was a
absolutely.
rain curtain game. So
Mhm.
anyway, I mean, you don't have a lot of sample size to say anything.
Yes. Okay. Hemant Kumar commenting, Suchi Upadhyay to replace Charani, any chance? I don't see.
Don't think so.
Yes. Mm. Okay. Pawan Shreshe, I want another thrilling match. Hopefully, we also want another thrilling match, but we also want India to win. So let's see. So let's see. Okay, Asimas, is any score safe without bowling attack except Snehana? No one is taking any wickets. How did we concede more than six per over for 15-20 overs versus Sri Lanka? Lack of skills, poor planning, if not complacency.
Poor planning, no lack of skills. I
Yeah,
mean, these are the same bowlers who have got so many wickets. So I don't think it is lack of skills. I think it's poor planning. I don't think complacency either. As I said, I just think extremely poor planning.
absolutely. And we all are sitting so far from Colombo. We can see the Sri Lanka batters were looking to take those singles and doubles here and there. To
Oh my
but
god!
but but those
Why
players,
would you
your
let the
team.
batter settle in by doing
Exactly.
15
But
singles?
your team didn't do any, but our team didn't do anything to stop those. They were letting the okay, you can take, we will take wickets eventually and win the game, but ultimately it got late and they won the game. I think that is the problem. Okay, the next comment is Sanjit Sarkar. Sorry to say, but if you're complacent and overconfident, these things happen.
We are neither.
Okay. Asim Hans. Tusha, you mentioned this game is more important for South Africa than India. If India doesn't win this match and South Africa wins by Sri Lanka also, India could be eliminated before the final itself based on net run rate. Isn't important for us? Obviously, it is important. It is more
There
important
is a
if this.
difference between more important and important.
Yes,
So yes, Asim,
yes,
it's important for us, but right now South Africa has 0 points, so they have to
exactly.
win today's game, and then they have to win against Sri Lanka. So that have, why am I screaming the have, is because
Exactly.
it's a have in caps lock, right? So they have to win it, and we have to win it. There's a difference between
Exactly.
the two.
If India lost today, still India will be there until that the final match. Okay, let's see whether India can qualify or not. But if South Africa lost today, it is done and dusted. India and Sri Lanka are playing the final. That is what Shadi meant. Okay. Okay, Asiman. Trisha, you mentioned our batting isn't clicking, but before the match versus Sri Lanka, you mentioned 230, 240 would make the game competitive versus Sri Lanka. The batting unit scored 40 runs more and still lost.
Yeah, I think when India scored 275, as we said in the show that I was not well, so I had actually expected India to win.
Hmm.
And to be honest, I was just watching the match when you're already unwell, and then the match is unfolding in front of you like that. It's extremely sad. Uh, where I thought is our bowlers were flat. They did not resort to anything but the plain and simple bowling plan that they had. I did not see slowers. I did not see a lot of variations. I just saw the way they have bowled. They just continue to bowl like that. So that is where we could not pick wickets. The problem was the field placing was weird. So overall, it's one thing to say that the bowlers were not penetrative enough. The other thing is at times you need good sharp field placements and fielding.
Hmm.
Maybe had we tried to stop a few singles, we could have put them under pressure and forced them to do something, which is what we did not. We waited for them to get out instead of us trying to get them out. That is where the problem was.
Hmm. Absolutely. Okay. The next comment is Ramaji is here. I want to see Amanjot in place of Arundhati. Okay.
No,
Ramaji in place of Ramaji saying Amanjot in place of Arundhati. Okay.
Ramaji
Well, I
can't
don't
play
see that.
in place of
Yeah,
Arundhati
yeah,
for
sorry,
sure.
sorry. I just Ramaji is saying Amanjot
No,
in
but
place of
if you play
Arundhati.
no, if you play Amanjot in place of Arundhati, then you're going to play Kranti as well. दोनों
Hmm.
नए को लेके आ जाओगे आप इतने important मैच में.
Yes. Okay. Being a huge fan of Pratika, it was heartbreaking to see her not scoring 50 plus in the last match. Hope she hits 100 plus today. मतलब आप लोग मतलब वो एवरेज 50 का बनाए रखोगे हर मैच में 50 हो जाए एक दिन
मत
नहीं किया
करो
तो
ऐसे.
नेक्स्ट मैच का
मत करो ऐसे.
एक दिन रामा जी आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड यू आर ए बिग बिग फैन बट स्टिल एक मैच में तो ठीक है थोड़ा 50 नहीं किया तो ठीक है थोड़ा थोड़ा नहीं भी करना चाहिए बड़ा बड़ा मैच के लिए अभी बचा के रखो सब 50 और 100
करेक्ट.
और फिर भी
अभी तो मेन
मतलब
मैचेस बाकी है.
एग्जैक्टली प्रतीक का तो 50 नहीं करना भी 35 है 35 35 है उसका 50 नहीं करना तो ठीक है कभी कभी होता है बाकी को भी मौका मिलना चाहिए बाकी को भी रन करना है थोड़ा कॉन्फिडेंस के लिए तो ठीक है थोड़ा थोड़ा चाहिए Oh, good question, Ramaji. Has Rajeshwari Gaikwad already played her last international match? She has an experience of playing in World Cup matches, so she should have been picked for this tour.
She's not in form at all. I don't see her
Hmm.
getting picked. And I am nobody to say this, but I have a gut feeling. Yes, she has played her last international match, at least ODI.
Hmm.
I feel. In fact,
The
yeah,
selectors
as
have moved ahead. Moved ahead.
yeah, I think so.
Hmm. I think that is why you are bringing new left arm off spinner, new generation left arm off spinner. Hmm.
And see, there are so many options when it comes to the new generation spinners as well.
Yes.
Under 19, there were so many left arm spinners. There's Charani, there's Shuchi. In fact, it's surprising we have got Charani and Shuchi. We have not got a single under 19 spinner here. So there's
Yes,
so much future left
Vaishnavi
arm
Iyer and
spinners.
all. Mm.
Exactly. So we have so many future left arm spinners to look forward to that
Mm.
I don't think Rajeshwari does have a chance.
Mm.
Unfortunately, she has been the one of my
Okay.
favorite bowlers at least.
Mm. Okay, Ramaji, I don't understand why this left and right hand batting combination fantasy came into picture all of a sudden. Have we forgotten the combos of Sachin Sehwag, Hayden Gilchrist, etc., who bat same side?
I think I don't. I think it has got more to do with you know the bowler's length and line unsettling, that people talk about the left and right hand combination. Having said that, the way people are obsessed with that right now, that is beyond me as well, Ramaji. Because
Mm.
it's not like if two right handers play or two left handers play, they cannot bat at all. If they cannot, then there's a skill issue. Then it has got nothing to do with which side they bat on.
Exactly,
Um,
exactly.
if you have that variation to use it, I understand. If you don't have it, it's fine. It's not such a big deal. You're correct. There was Justin Langer and Matthew Hitton, one of the most dangerous opening pair you would ever see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this thing, I think, used to be an exception one, a surprising move for opposition. But right now, when data and all, everything is there, data analysis and all in every
Correct.
team, they have
Correct.
started to put out these numbers and started to, okay, we should try this thing from the first ball itself. So I think that is why this, all of a sudden, this thing has come. And why this matchup has come. Trishadi being as a bowler is very disgusting. I know for Trishadi to say that off spinner will not ball to right hander.
Oh
There is
my
no
God.
so why not? Off spinners, if he or she has that caliber, he or she can take wickets of any batter. Doesn't matter if the batter bats right-handed or left-handed. So I think this number and stats has come and these things have come up.
Absolutely. And I think what's weird, is the way people talk about kind of what I find extremely weird is the way people say, no, so and so has picked up more left arm wickets without saying the number of balls they've bowled to
Yes,
left-handed batters. It could well
exactly.
be that I've bowled more to left-handed batters, or it could well be I've bowled more to right-handed batters, so I have more right-handed batter wickets. And also depends on the phases where they have been bowled. Who are these batters? Are they tail enders or are they openers? There are a lot of factors. It is not only about right hand, left hand, and it is so difficult to make people understand. And the other thing that actually irritates me is the moment a left hander has come into bat, you start bowling round the wicket. Why? For God's sake.
Exactly, exactly.
It's
That
such
is
a
the point.
beautiful angle to bowl a right arm pacer to a left-handed batter over the wicket. It creates such a beautiful and difficult angle for a
Yes,
left-hander.
yes.
But you
And that
become
is the
reversed
point.
around the
The
wicket.
numbers do not show you the pattern, the work that bowlers put before that particular ball. When a bowler is delivering, from round the wicket to take that wicket, or maybe a dusra or a googly, before that he or she bowling four from the over the wicket or maybe four off spin, so that
Correct.
he or she came up with that special delivery and dismiss him. But
Correct.
when you see the numbers, you will say, okay, she bowled 15 googlies and she took 14 wickets. So let's start. You bowl all 15 googlies in your 15 deliveries. So that is not the point. You have to use those as your
Exactly.
weapons, and that is
And
becoming a habit.
that becomes a problem, Snehashish. Now I know that Snehashish twice has got out to Googly. And the moment
Exactly.
Snehashish has come out to bat, I am bowling googly. Are
Uh,
Bhai, I had set him up. I had set him up with four
exactly.
off spinners and then bowled a googly, or four leg
Exactly.
spinners and then bowled a googly. Right? But no, I'm not looking at it. I am looking
Mm.
at the only thing that, oh, round the wicket, Smriti Mandana had edged a short ball. So what you do is the moment Smriti Mandana comes out to bat, let's go round the wicket. No,
Yes.
bowl over the wicket. Get her to defend, get her to disrupt her mentally, and then go round the wicket. Then it will be more difficult because if you attack the stumps. But well, you
Exactly.
know,
ओके, रमेश जी सेइंग शेफाली वर्मा को चांस किस वजह से नहीं दी जा रही है?
क्योंकि वो रन बना नहीं पा रहे डोमेस्टिक में राइट पर्सन को खुश करने की अमाउंट ऑफ रन, आई वुड से।
हाँ, एग्जैक्टली। और ये सच है, मतलब ये यदि कोई सार्केस्टिक वे में नहीं बताई, ये सच है। मतलब
हाँ
जो जो
well,
मैच में, हाँ, जो जो मैच
शफाली,
में शेफाली ने रन किया है
हाँ
वो
तो शफाली
एक्सपेक्टेड
से
था।
रन, हाँ आई मीन उतना तो शफाली को बनाना चाहिए, शफाली के
हाँ,
टैलेंट, शफाली की क्वालिटी के हिसाब से। आई
हाँ,
डोंट थिंक शफाली हैज परफॉर्म्ड outstandingly to make a comeback, and that's why I keep saying do not hand debut caps till you're 100% sure, because comeback is so tough. Making a comeback is so much tougher because there is this performance that Shafali is making. She would have made a debut blindly, you know, but making a comeback with that performance is not possible. Has the toss
that's
happened?
yeah, that is what I am checking also. I think it had done.
No, South Africa women have opted to bowl first.
Okay, South Africa opted to bowl first. Okay. Okay, we'll come to the playing 11 shortly when we get it. Ramaji is saying young age or experience, which one matters the most? Do you go to an experienced doctor or a beginner? Experience always matters in important tournaments like World Cup.
I
I
wouldn't
think a
know na,
proper
that
balance
whether the
between
doctor,
these two.
I wouldn't know whether the doctor is experienced or inexperienced. They don't write the age, right?
Yes.
Uh, but
Only the
Ramaji's
degrees are
point, yeah,
there.
the point is not who's more experienced or who's young. The point is who is in form. You cannot have Rajeshwari Gaikwad in this kind of a form. It does not matter how good a bowler she was. Then, if that's the case, then Ekta Bisht was always a better bowler than Rajeshwari Gaikwad. Then would
Yes.
you take a Ekta Bisht? Then why are we not talking about Ekta Bisht?
Mm.
Uh,
And
and
she has
I think
been playing so good in WPL also.
and
Ektabish.
Ekta Bisht is a superior,
Yes.
supreme fielder as well. So she brings in
Yes.
two aspects that way. A street smart, a street smart player, so can help out the captain and vice captain also with her advice if need be. But I don't. But none of us are seeing that happening. So I think that way you have to understand that it is not about young or experience. It is about right now who's doing better. Also, by the way, the South Africa playing 11 is here. I'll read it out. Tasmin Brits,
Yes.
Lara. Oh, interesting. Laura Woolworth is not playing.
Ooh.
Chloe Tryon is the captain. Tasmin Brits, Lara Goodall, Sunelu, Miane Smith, Nonduwiso Shangase, Shinalo Jafta, Chloe Tryon, Annery Dickerson, Nadine de Clark, Masabata Class, and Nonkululeku Malaba.
Direction is there, right? Any direction?
Direction is there. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so the huge news. Laura Ulvert is not playing. So we have to see what is, maybe there might be some reason behind that. But so Chloe Tran is the
Must be
captain.
unwell.
Yeah, must
Must
be
be
unwell.
unwell.
I think the temperature, the heat is playing a huge role in this series. I think it's very difficult for players to, in this
India has
series.
gone with just one pacer, Amanjot Kaur.
Amanjot Kaur is making a comeback then. Okay.
And in place of Kashvi, Shuchi Upadhyay is playing.
Shuchi Upadhyay making her debut. Okay. So so now you have Dipti Sharma, you have Sneha Rana, two off spinner and two left arm off spinner. Sri Charani and Shuchi Upadhyay. Four spinner and one pacer, one medium pacer, not only pacer, medium pacer, that is Amanjot Kaur. So five bowlers for you. Okay, and Pratika will bowl another off spinner, right arm off spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So so good news for Suchi Upadhyay that she is making her debut. So another debut on the cards before the World Cup, and obviously Amanjat making a comeback after a long time. So huge occasion for her, and that is what we were expecting, that maybe when Kashbi is not fit, better than not giving a straight away debut to a player like Kranti Gaur or anyone. I think it's better to use Amanjot Kaur because she is on that line, the next on that line. But about South Africa, I think it's a huge news that Laura Wolford is not playing, maybe unwell or something. Chloe Tran is the captain. Uh, I don't know. I thought maybe Sunelu will be the captain or maybe Tajman Breeds, but Chloe Tran is the
But is
captain.
Sunelu playing?
Sunelu, you mentioned Sunelu's name.
Yeah, Sunelu
Sunelu
is
not,
playing.
yeah, Sunelu playing. So Sunelu is playing, but Meso is not playing. Karabo Meso is not.
Laura Woolward
Yeah.
is ill. Laura Woolward is ill.
Okay, Laura
Currently.
Wilbert is ill. Karabo Meso is not playing. Zapta, Sinalo Zapta is playing. Yes. So that is the change that they made. Obviously, again, I think so. More spin attacks that South Africa need to tackle today. Four spinners. So you can expect around 30-40 overs of spin today from India. So it will be difficult for South
40
Africa.
overs of spin because
Yeah,
you
40
only
overs
have
of spin.
Amarjot Kaur. That's it.
Exactly. So a little difficult for South Africa, Trishad.
I don't know what to say because I find it very weird that we are going in with so many spinners. But sure, I mean, 40 overs of spin with Woolward not being there, I think is going to be tough for South Africa.
Yeah.
But 40 overs of spin is not the only thing that is going to help. I think the spinners have to do well. The spinners have to bowl in one channel and consistently. Uh, will be interesting to see how South Africa responds because there are a lot of names that I'm not 100% sure how well they will come out against spin.
Yes. Absolutely. And obviously, you have to bat well also because you are batting first. You have to set a proper target first.
Yes.
So that will be interesting to see. And somehow, Tushadi, I also asked this question to Naman yesterday. Is there something you are seeing in that pattern that your bowlers are struggling while defending a target? Because against, I think against Sri Lanka, we chased down the
Yeah.
target, right? But against South Africa, then against
But
Sri
that
Lanka,
will
now
always
again.
happen, no, Snehashish. If you do not
Yeah.
have a plan B, then that will
Hmm.
always happen. Because in when a team is batting first, you know generally you would know the approach in ODIs, right?
Hmm.
But when it comes to chasing, the approach changes, right? The opponent's approach changes depending on the runs left, etc., etc. That is when your approach has to change. You cannot stick to one approach and say let them change the approach, I don't care. But you know we are not going to change anything. That is what we are doing. We are being stubborn with our plans, and that is exactly what is going wrong.
Absolutely. Okay, let's take some comments. This is done. Okay, Devan Banerjee saying, where is the match being broadcasted? Checked all channels, not able to
And
view. Also, quick question for Trisha.
okay,
Women's team still plays multi-nation tournaments, but men's team do not play at all. Why? Okay, the first question Trisha has already answered. It is being telecasted on fan
fan
code.
code.
So you can, yeah, so you can go and watch it on fan code. And the next question, Trishadi, why main team doesn't play this type of multinational tournaments at all?
I don't know.
Because there is a lot of
You
cricket already. you you don't get any time or schedule gap between cricketing actions. They play a lot of cricket already. You have to give some rest to cricketers. They are also human. So, okay, done. But this multinational tournaments is very good.
very interesting.
Yeah.
I like
In
multinational tournaments. It's more interesting
Exactly.
than bilateral.
In our childhood, when matches were used to happen in Sharjah, those tournaments where India, Zimbabwe, and all used to play, I think it was superb to see. Okay, Devan Banerjee, same question has been taken. Ramaji, Richa and Yastika pair look like a Dhoni and Karthik, where Karthik lost his place due to high strike rate of Dhoni. I feel sad for Yastika. She has class but need to improve consistency. Superb comparison.
Well, we will not go into Dhoni Karthik, but I think, Yastika could have made her own spot. But yes, she needs to work on her consistency, and I do believe she will, and she will eventually make a comeback.
Yes. Okay, then the same Devan Banerjee. ओके, रमेश भटनूर is saying प्राजक्ता रावल से भी शेफाली का
Pratika.
बहुत बड़ा नाम। अच्छा, हाँ, प्रतीका रावल से भी शेफाली का बहुत बड़ा नाम है। स्ट्राइक रेट, आई थिंक शेफाली बहुत जल्दी टीम इंडिया में वापस होगी। सिर्फ स्ट्राइक रेट की वजह से अगर वापस होगी तो हो गया। अब 2 बॉल में 4 करोगे भी तो 200 का स्ट्राइक रेट होता है भाई। तो अब क्या तो उससे क्या वापसी होगा? अगर अगर शेफाली वर्मा कैन स्कोर at 170 strike rate and score at least 35-40 runs, then I can understand. But at least I think in ODI format the strike rate doesn't matter that much when you are opening the innings. In T20 format, you can understand. And I think me, Trishadi, and everyone others whoever follows women's cricket and all, in especially Indian women's cricket, they have mentioned that okay, you have dropped Shefali from ODI format, that is understandable, but why from T20 format? Because she scored, I think, more than 500 runs, right, Trishadi, in 2024, but still she didn't
Yes.
get the team. So I think in the T20 format, the question remains why she is not there. But in ODI format, the strike rate doesn't matter at all when you're opening. It matters regarding the average. The more you, how long you can stay there at one end to stabilize that in. So that is more, and that is what Pratika has been doing so far so well. Okay, Ramaji saying, what do you guys think has the ability to lead from the front and win as the World Cup? My pick is obviously Pratika because of her current form. Ooh, that's a big question.
It has to be either of Smriti or Jemima.
Hmm, that is true. Okay. Ashimans, what would be a safe score today? Ashimans is ready with his notebook, Rishadi.
uh, I mean, I'm not being complacent, but I do think that this South Africa side lacks a lot of, a lot of experience. I mean, with Laura Woolward missing out, it's a huge, huge factor. I would say 250, 260.
Even I also think again 260, 270 maybe will be enough, but you never know. India always come up with some surprises, and again in the post match, like maybe Asimans will be asking me what happened to your predictions. Why they scored 30 more and still they lost. So again we will be clueless and without any answer. Okay, Devan, same question. Okay, Mandeep saying, well, India would win today. I had told you earlier that India needs 300 against Sri Lanka to win, but South Africa knows how to lose from winning situation. Yes, Mandeep was right in that pre-match live that India have to score 300 against Sri Lanka, and they didn't,
Don't think
and that is
so.
why,
Don't think
yes.
so. I mean, I still don't agree with Mandeep that India had to score 300.
Yeah.
India just boiled under,
275, 275 you
was
should
more
have
than enough.
defended. Yeah,
Yeah,
more than. Okay. Mandeep, I knows every team's strength. Sri Lanka is playing really well in Asia Cup Final 2. They defeated India again in the Tri-Nation tournament. Fielding standards are low as far India's concerned. Absolutely. I think the fielding part is a concern.
yes, Sri Lanka played in the Asia Cup final was a different kind of Sri Lanka. The one that played here
Yeah.
was a different kind of Sri Lanka. Let's not
And
mix
that
that.
played in that World Cup, that was a very different kind of Sri Lanka.
That was a typical kind of Sri Lanka.
So we are shocked. We are shocked. We were expecting so much things, so much big things from the Sri Lanka, considering that form, and they come up with a different kind of game at World Cup. Okay, Ramesh is saying आज Shruti 120 plus and Richa goes 80. India 320 for 5. Woof.
आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर.
Woof. That's a bold prediction, bhai sahab. Okay. Next, Mandeep. Well, I had seen the boundary which could be stopped easily going for force. So there you can make the difference. That should be the focus today. I think fielding has been an area that has been a focus for a long time now.
Yeah, yeah.
And not only for India, Trishadi has mentioned several times. It is a thing that with all Asian teams that we lack. So we have to improve that game by game. Devan, same question. Next comment is, oh, what happened?
What happened?
What where the comment gone?
The next comment is Ramaji has said, I don't
Yes,
think this is the
Sri
right
Lanka
time to
appeared to be a
experiment. No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, acha,
The
this is
comment.
different.
Yeah, I don't think this is the right time to experiment by giving chances to new players, as if new players fail to perform well due to pressure of getting picked for World Cup, they will never get another chance. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Prince of World says, will any Indian player score century? What will Indian power play score and total score be? Snehashish.
So what will be the power play score and total score? Ooh, power play score, I think it will be around 55 for 1 or something. And India will score around 270, as I said. Tushadi also said. Century, I don't think so. Maybe 180 or 90s, maybe. I don't think
It'll
any
be
century.
48 for 2, and I feel 285.
Yeah. 48 for 2. Again, Jemima scoring 85 then. Definitely. Okay, Mandeep. We play World Cup to just participate. Australia plays to win. There is a difference between that. After Juludi and Mitali, the determined team is shambles. She is shambles.
Team is not in shambles, but obviously you're not going to get you're not going to be easily able to replace a Mithali Raj and a Julian Goswami, because if that happened, then they wouldn't have been able to sustain in the team for 20 years. Nobody gives
Yes,
their place or would have let them stay had they not been performing continuously, reinventing themselves, and that's why they're legends. I think there's a difference between being good cricketers, great cricketers, and being legends. And the two names that you have taken
absolutely.
have been absolute legends of the game. You can see that in
Absolutely.
every stats that you pick up batting, you will see
Still
Mithali's
now.
name
Still now.
still now, and she has retired now 3 years. It has been that she has
Yes,
retired. In fact, in the next month, it will be 3 years that Mithali has retired, and her name is there in every single stat, batting stat. And with Jhulandi, it's on the other side. In every single bowling stat, her
bowling.
name is there. So I think
Absolutely.
you can understand how much they have performed for their team. I feel actually we are the unfortunate ones who have not been able to watch them on, like, in full action, the way we are able to watch this Indian team.
Absolutely. Okay, Asiman saying, is Arundhati's omission a surprise? Is it based on performance? She is considering more than 6 per over in both matches so far, or is it based on the team plans utilizing spinning conditions versus South Africa? I think a bit of both, Tushadi.
Yes, a bit of both, of course.
Mm.
The reason I was surprised was because you are only keeping Amanjot as a pacer who's on a comeback in this match. I mean, just did not strike well. Amanjot might pick up 3 wickets, and things might be different. But yeah, I just thought that one of the since Kashmi is in there, I did expect Arundhati to keep her place.
Absolutely. Okay, Mandip saying, today I feel Pratika Rawal should make a big score. Okay, okay, let's see. Uh, Ramesh Bhattacharya saying same Sweti Mandara 120, Richa 80. Okay. The Devan saying it was fun, Snehashish, growing up on multinational tournaments twice a year in Sharjah, NatWest series in England, CV series in Australia with the best of three finals, Titan Cup,
Correct.
Pepsi Cup, and more. Absolutely,
Correct.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you mentioned that semi-final. I just remember Sachin Tendulkar scoring those, play of the match knocks. I think 100 and 190 or something. And India winning first time. I think it was 2008 maybe. India won that series, CB series under MS Dhoni's captaincy. Superb, superb. It was so good to see those tournaments. Okay, same Devan. Mandip, Richa is the only player in the Indian team who plays with the intent that is the requirement in our batting. Other than that, all other just
No.
good in playing taste in. No, 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 no. What you are mentioning that is required in T20 format. That I can
Yeah.
accept. But in this format, I think the plan is there. Yeah, you can tell that they need to be more aggressive while searching for singles and doubles. That
Yeah.
you can ask, but not that you have to hit sixes or fours on a
But I
on
thought
one.
Sneh Rana and Arundhati were doing a good job last game.
Yes, Okay, Ramaji saying Sri Lanka appeared to be a strong team at home but fails to perform so outside. What is the exact reason behind this other than slow pitches?
The mentality, I feel, they do not have that winning mentality as yet. Apart from a Chamari Adapatu, that's why she's a class act. But
Yes.
again, this team is improving. Of course, you can see that over the last one or two games.
Absolutely, and not only in women's, but also for men's cricket also. Since the Jayasuriya came, because the next comment is on that. Mandeep making is that comment that Sri Lanka is a strong team at home. Always they had been in men's team, they were struggling, but now Jayasuriya revived that team. Even world champions aren't able to defeat them at their home in ODIs. Absolutely. And what about that move, Trishadi, yesterday that we shared that R. Sridhar has been appointed, for a 10-day camp. I think that has
Very
been
interesting. Very interesting
interesting.
and well done, I would say, because Arshidar is a very good fielding coach, and for him to then be able to give that knowledge to the teams, and both men and women team. That is the best
Exactly.
part. That it's both men's and women's team. I think, and a very important camp.
Absolutely. Okay, Syed Nijamuddin, what happens when we play T20 cricket with red ball? Sarvanash.
You need to wake up from your dream. You have to wake
Sarvanash
up.
happens. Okay. Mandeep, when I see the fielding standard in women's cricket, I know the reason why people aren't interested in it. BCCI should think to grow up on women's cricket too. I
Really,
think BCCI
Mandeep?
are doing good thing.
No. Really, Mandeep? The catch that Virat Kohli missed
Hey,
of who was that?
oh,
Jadeja. Jadeja.
on yesterday there was a, क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
Yesterday, no. I'm telling you, yesterday the last run out, the batter
Oh,
was halfway down the pitch, and
and
Hardik was the one
Surya
of the.
and Surya Kumar Yadav was coming to the stumps.
Did you get that run out done? Don't tell me
No.
this. Yes, women's cricket fielding needs to improve, but don't tell me that is the reason people are not watching women's cricket. Don't give me this bullshit at all. That this is the
Yes.
reason people are not watching women's cricket. That is the reason people are not watching women's cricket. You are not watching women's cricket because you are a misogynist who does not think that women should play cricket. You are not watching women's cricket not because of the standard of cricket, because hello, it's a completely different sport. Watch it for its standard. Yes, there are fielding lapses, which if a Virat Kohli, who's such a good fielder, can drop a catch like that, a dolly like that at that important situation, because it's just that. And by the way, I'm a huge Virat Kohli fan. I am a huge RCB fan. I was sitting here shocked we could have lost that match. Had any of the women done that, you would have said this is the reason women should not play cricket. This is the reason women should stay in the kitchen. But now, what happened to Virat Kohli? You're not going to say anything to him. Why? Because he's a man, and cricket is a gentleman's game. So please, don't tell me that people are not watching it because of the fielding standard. And sorry, I did not mean to
Absolutely.
shout. It's just
No,
that
no, no. It
it's
is natural, and even in the yesterday's game, if you guys watch, it was an exhibition to drop, to see how to drop easy catches.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, exactly. So it happens.
And these are
It,
international players. It's not like they're domestic players.
definitely, yes, that is the part. Okay, Prince of World saying, Trishadi, please come in post match live. I missed you. Okay, today she will
Today will
come.
be there.
Yes. Okay, Ramesh is saying, sir and ma'am, pick your final four team IPL. My four team Mumbai, GT, Punjab, Delhi. No RCB.
What?
Eh. He-
My four picks
My
would
son.
be RCB, Mumbai, GT, and Punjab.
Yeah, RCB, GT, Mumbai. Let's go, KKR.
Well done.
Okay, okay. Ramaji, will we see India women versus Afghanistan women?
I hope so. I hope so.
Hope so, yeah. But
Because Afghanistan women now, I think, with ICC also helping them, I'm sure ICC
hmm,
will. Because if you remember, at one point for Afghanistan men, Dehradun was their home ground. India had done
yes,
that.
yes.
So you never know, India might do that for women as well. I think, you
Exactly.
know what, Snehashish, people often forget the good work that BCCI has done and keep criticizing them about wherever they have failed. I'm not saying that BCCI has never failed, but so much of good work has been done by BCCI. Think of that one-off test against Afghanistan. We did not
Yes.
beat that. That was
Mm.
not a dress rehearsal for us. That was something that we did for Afghanistan cricket. And
They needed
these
that thing. Mhm.
initiatives, yeah, exactly. These initiatives often is forgotten, you know.
Absolutely. Okay, Mandeep saying Mitali and Juludi performed when we don't had had the facilities in women's cricket. Now they had everything. Yeah, absolutely. I think
So
that is
true.
why they are the legends of the game. So this is anything more. Okay, Ramaji. Which small team has the ability to surprise big teams in the World Cup, just like Afghanistan did so in the last World Cup?
I think in Indian conditions, Pakistan and Bangladesh, sorry, Pakistan will be in Sri Lankan conditions. So
Mhm.
anyway, in Asian conditions, do not write off Pakistan and Bangladesh, I would say.
Yes. Okay. I think Mandeep, Tri Series is very good initiative in men's cricket due to IPL and too much international games. Tri Nation Series stopped. Yes, absolutely. There's no. Okay. Anything more? Right, this is done. Ramaji is saying, I want to see dressing room fielding awards in women's cricket too. Why are the coaching staff names less known in women's cricket? Okay. Trishadi, the last question.
I think there was one, no, where Mithali and Jhulan got that medal or something of that sort. I think that is something.
Maybe I think it happens with with dressing room to dressing room. What kind of people you have in the dressing room, if they are more initiative enough to to appreciate your players or not. Because
Yeah, exactly.
ultimately in men's cricket also in men's Indian dressing room also it didn't happen few years back. It is now happening for the last 1 year or something. So I think it has to be done with the people that are available in the dressing room at that particular time. Yeah. Mandeep saying, I'm telling you, when India men's will tour in Sri Lanka in test, it wouldn't be easy. They are good enough at playing spin. I would not surprised if Sri Lanka managed to defeat them. Okay, we have to say that. Okay. Ramaji is saying, time to see the class of Pratika. See you guys after India wins today and Pratika gets the player of the match. Hope you guys do the mid-inning show as well. Ramaji, sorry. We will come at the post match only because a lot of things that we have to do. Yeah, so that is why it's very difficult to come at the mid innings time, but we'll definitely come at the post innings, and hopefully we can celebrate India's win with you. And obviously, if Pratika wins the player of the match, then you should give us a treat. Mm.
Chalo, the
Okay.
match has started. Let's close the show.
Oh, okay. It's 10-5. I forgot. Okay. Last comment. In Mandeep,
Uh,
in IPL, fielding standards are always low. Even Cummings said who can catch, even defend catch in crucial moment. Australia, they're dropping catches for SRH. So I had Nectar Island in case of fielding.
yeah. So then, that mean that you don't watch IPL because of fielding? If if
Yeah,
if you say a yes to that, then I'm fine.
exactly. Okay, so the match has started. We have to see the match also. So it's time to wrap up. Thank you for joining in. A lot of people has joined with us today. And it is so good to see that the more people are coming and joining with us in women's cricket. So that is the best thing that for both of us that we have been trying to do.
Absolutely.
So definitely we'll come back in the post match live. Thank you for John. Thank you Tushadi, and hopefully India can win because ultimately we all know that this win can ensure their place in that final, and hopefully we can have a good match and ultimately India can win. Thank you so much. Let's join in the post match. Thank you.